Muy buenas, damas y caballeros, gente de YouTube, TikTok o Instagram, donde sean. Me presento, yo soy Nicolás Velasco Montoya. Aquí les irá apareciendo ciertos de mis datos. Y el día de hoy, quizás por lo de que viene este año, más o menos, yo quiero ser su profesor de inglés. Y que esto sea un acercamiento entre parte y parte. Ya que mi trayectoria ha sido básicamente, en un inicio yo fui como muchos de ustedes, queriendo aprender inglés y que básicamente no progresaba, no podía. Yo recuerdo tanto que en mis inicios básicamente no sabía ni siquiera el vocabulario en inglés, no sabía, por ejemplo, decir A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Una historia que me pasó, también para que vayamos entrando en confianza, resulta que un docente que tuve, el hombre, muy caballeroso, una vez nos hizo una evaluación relacionada con el vocabulario en inglés. Perdón, abecedario, me disculpo. Y es que en un inicio todos mis compañeros fueron pasando y era cantando lo normal, como les hice hace menos de 30 segundos. El problema es que este cuerpo de acá no tenía ni en lo absoluto una idea de cómo hablar en inglés, menos la pronunciación. Básicamente yo era muy terco, no sabía ni siquiera hablar en español, háganme así. Esta historia pasó, por ejemplo, por así decirlo, alrededor de hace 6, 7 años. Actualmente soy un estudiante de grado 11 y tengo el deseo de compartirles a ustedes cómo llegué hasta el punto en el que prácticamente fui certificado con un C1 en inglés por el examen del MET, Michigan English Test, avalado por los Estados Unidos, evidentemente. Les sigo relatando de mi bella historia, para que vayamos entrando en confianza. Entonces, llegó el momento en que yo tuve que hablar frente al profesor y todos mis compañeros. Éramos como un curso de alrededor de 30 personas por ahí. Y yo no dije nada. Me quedé completamente en blanco. Entonces el profesor, hermoso, no tuvo nada más que hacer que ponerme un 1. Que en ese entonces era la peor nota que uno podía recibir. Fue tanto así el impacto que me dio eso, que eso marcó un antes y un después en mi vida. Y desde ese momento empecé a estudiar inglés como si no hubiera un mañana absoluto. Empecé a aprender vocabulario, hablar, practicar y sobre todo practicar el habla, que es algo que yo he notado que muchos individuos, personas, también mi familia, quieren aprender inglés, pero ponen cierta excusa. ¿Y cuál es esta? Marcan como excusa que entienden, puede que perfecto, no sé, desconozco la verdad, pero que no pueden hablar. Y aquí surge una pequeña duda. En un idioma, lo más importante es uno aprender a hablar, comunicarse con la otra persona. Es tan importante la habilidad de hablar como de escuchar y entender qué es lo que el otro te está diciendo. For example, if I start speaking in English to all of you, will you understand me? Most of you will say, yes, I understand you, Nicholas. But can you answer me? Alright. Well, that's what I'm going to teach you in this English course that we're studying today on February 14th, the Valentine's Day. By the way, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I made a few decorations on the background. You would like to check it? Hey, why don't you subscribe to my channel? It's totally free. Here's a, what should I call it, a strawberry? Happy face, this model that I grew. But we don't care about that anymore. So now that you know about me more or less, I bet that the weekend is already start with this English course. So, for this first lesson that I'm going to teach you, I want you to practice some of the words that I'm going to teach you. First of all, verb to be. As a matter of fact, the verb to be is not actually as that hard as people usually give the impression to others. Because you go to a normal school and you will say, the verb to be, that's horrible, I don't know, but actually, this is what you have to understand for the verb to be. I didn't break a pencil or something. I suppose that's my bad. So I have to do like more of work editing for this video. Damn. Okay, let's begin. So imagine this. In English, as in Spanish, there are subjects that are the let's call these are people, animals, or items for the moment that receive an action. For example, let's say that I studied every day from Monday to Friday. What I'm trying to convey you is that Nicholas, I study. The verb is study. Estudiar, aprender, ir a la escuela, la institución educativa, el liceo. Eso no importa. That doesn't matter at all. The important thing here is the subject to begin with. So you can begin creating your first sentences in English. So our first subject is I, me, myself. We use word with a normal I, y Latina in Spanish, and that means I, yo. That's the first person singular in English. The next one is the he, she, and it. My bad. These are the third person in English, singular as well. And he is for masculine subjects, for example, male, like me. She is used for females, like women, also, for example, the animals that are female, and a few objects in English that are labeled as female as well. It is in a special case because this is a subject that applies for objects and certain types of animals, because most of the time in English we cannot label like an animal by a female or a male, because like their structure and their appearance is like similar from male to female. So we use the subject it for these cases. So that means that we mean to it two objects, animals, and that's mainly it. So let's create a few sentences for these subjects. For example, if we want to say something with a male, we will say in this sequence, first the subject, then the verb, and then the following information of the sentence. It can be, for example, a date. It can be, for example, how often the subject does certain action. Like I said in my example before, I study from Monday to Friday. That's how often I do it, that's weekly. So that's one way to say it. So to create a sentence, we'll say, for example, He plays soccer every day. Okay, so we're going to decompose this sentence that we just created to understand how the sentences work in English. So, first of all, the subject, he. He what? Plays, that's the verb. And I'm going to explain you what happens with the verbs and depending on the subject. Because in the example, we're saying plays. He plays soccer every day. In English, it exists the infinitive verbs in their infinitive form. The infinitive form of play is of course play, and we can transform it according to the subject and certain situations. But we're going to explain that in another day, in another lesson. So we'll proceed. Plays soccer every day. The rest of the sentence is soccer every day. We're saying to the other person that he plays soccer every day. And soccer is the sport, football in Spanish. And every day is every day, constantly. Cada día lo realizo. Every day is like the total of trying to say most of the time, because he does every day without any left. That's a lot of discipline, if I say so. So the other subjects for these lessons are we, you, and we, you, and yeah, I guess that's all the subjects in English. Yeah, mainly also trying to not mess with some French, because I'm learning French as well. That doesn't matter. So we. Repeat with me. We. We write this we. W-A. What does it mean? Nosotros. So, we use we for the plural in first person. So it's like a group in general in which we are included as well. So for example, in a school we study from Monday to Friday, and we have English lessons every day at 8 a.m. What are we trying to say? That me included, with my other teammates in the school, we study or we have English lessons at 8 a.m. every day. That's mainly it. You. And for some people, you might be like a bit difficult. You're starting from nothing to learn English. Why? Because you can be used for a single person or multiple people at the same time. How? This depends in the context mainly. Because if I say you, I'm referring to you as a single person. But I can say all of you. Write this like in a notebook or something like that. It's quite a little important to save most of the vocabulary. This is a normal book, this is not a notebook. La mosca. So yeah, you can use some of these notebooks to take notes, so that you can practice the words that I'm saying, the keywords that we learn in every lesson, and you can practice it to improve your English skills, of course. Give me a moment. So what were we saying? You can be used for a single person or multiple people at the same time, because this like little bit of a situation that happens in English. And for example, if I say, you take cooking lessons every night at 9 p.m. You. That's a single person. It can be, for example, you. I can meet to my neighbor, my grandpa, my father, whatever it is. But if I say, all of you committed something bad, and you have to be sanctioned for it, punished. What I'm trying to convey is that all of you, a multiple group, over 2 people, has committed an infraction, and they have to be sanctioned for it, punished. And that's a situation that happened in the school. We don't care about that. So that's mainly it. An essential thing to understand in English is that the verb to be works with these subjects. So to rehearse the subjects quickly, we'll say I, yo, he, él, she, ella, it, I don't know, maybe this book, it exists, we, I'm alone, so I don't know what to say, but yeah, you, I love you. Yeah, always if you subscribe, don't forget about it. So, the verb to be. What does it mean? The verb to be, or in Spanish, ser, is the way that we can say that we have property about something, something belongs to us, or this thing that we're trying to say implies to us in one way or another. For example, I am 16 years old. Tengo 16 años. Nunca vamos a decir en inglés tengo 16 años con el verbo have, tener. Eso es una situación del inglés que puede resultar confusa, pero suena mucho mejor decir I am 16 years old, I am 40 years old, I am 30 years old, en lugar de decir I have 16 years old. You see how that doesn't work, bro? So this is how we understand English as a global, to the inner things about it, and the smallest, of course. So, the first conjugation of the verb to be that we're going to learn is with I, my. I am 16 years old, I'm a teenager, I'm a student, whatever you want to say. Now, with he, she, or it, you will say is. He is, she is, it is. By the way, something important to note, for the beginning of this course, we will write the full words in English in our sentences. Then we can practice about abbreviating these words, but to begin with, we have to understand how they are written, so that we do not confuse these words with others in English, because a few words in English sound the same, with some cases like in Spanish, so we have to be extremely careful with this. So, he is, he's a male, she's a worker at Continental, it is a lion. Be careful with that. So these are the This is the verb to be conjugated for the third person singular in English. Now, we, you, all of this goes with are. We are, you are, and that's how it works. We are students. You are a great person. So, this is how we use the verb to be in all of the subjects. Now for a bit of practice, I am going to leave you with a few exercises to be done. With the verb to be, of course, with the respective subject. Probably I will list them in a list below. I don't know how I'm going to do it, editing, but well. This is for you to practice what we learned in this first lesson. I know it's a little bit short and all and like a bit antiquated, but this is the beginning. Remember, every time you pile something and keep going on and on and on and on and on, you will get it better and become better at it. Now, one last thing to say. If you want to learn English with me, you have to keep your mind focused on what you want to do. And also, all of these videos, repeat them as much times as you want. And all of the words I'm telling you, repeat it with me. I, he, she, it, we, you. Now with the respective verb to be. I am, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are. This is a little funny because it's like a robot or something like that, but yeah, that's the main idea about it. This video got a little bit longer than I expected, but yeah, that's mainly what we're going to rehearse into this course. And I suppose that's all for this first lesson. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to share something with me, I'll be highly pleased to get it. Now, don't forget that the education is the key for moving the world. Piensa smart.